The number of adults requesting further education and training has dramatically increased since the recession. Every year, approximately 300,000 adults participate in education in both formal and informal settings in Ireland, making the sector one of the largest growth areas in the whole education system, including adult education centres, PLC colleges, ITs and universities. We went to Léinn, an adult education centre in Nenagh, County Tipperary, to talk to staff and students about their experience in adult education.
Olivia Kennedy Murphy is my name, and I suppose I'm VTOS coordinator. Now, VTOS would be the Vocational Training Opportunity Scheme, but I'm also centre manager, and we have a number of different programmes going on here other than just the VTOS, which is the full-time day programme. So we have part-time programmes and other ones, so I would be manager of the entire programmes in the centre here. I suppose Léinn is, as I said, an adult education centre, so it provides education to adults in the community, and also it's a place where, as well as education, there's also, I suppose, a lot of health and well-being when you're coming in and you're socialising and meeting other people as well. So it offers quite a lot of things to the community. It offers them the education on a full-time basis and on a part-time basis. So if you're employed or working and want to come back and do it, or if you're just want to come back in and do something, we have that service there for you.
About Léinn, I heard from my Irish friend called Angela. She was my neighbor before, and in 2013 she brought me to Léinn here, and I started with evening courses such as computers or communications, and then I decided to go to full-time education.
When you're in the secondary school system, you're quite a disciplinarian. You know, you want to keep order, you want to, show a sort of a different face to who you really are. When you're in adult education, you're dealing with your own peers. You're dealing with people with life experiences like yourself, mothers, people who are coming from, maybe broken homes and, all sorts of social issues. So you're nurturing them, you're caring for them, you have to treat them with kindness. You really have to listen with your eyes and your ears. You have to give them a safe, secure environment to learn in, and teach them that they actually can do an awful lot for themselves, because a lot of the time in secondary school it's like dish it out, here you learn it, whereas in adult education you teach them how to learn for themselves and pick and choose what do they want to learn and why.
First of all, I decided to apply to Léinn to improve my English level. It was my first and important thing, because nowadays we can't find a good job, any jobs in Ireland, without a good level of English. But the second one, I want to understand everything about the system, because every country, every society is a system. And I want to understand what is happening at my children's school. If I will meet their teachers, I want to understand everything. If I will going to my GP, I want to understand everything. If I have to apply anywhere, I want to understand everything. For me, it's very, very important to feel, to understand my neighbors, to understand everything about history, about your customs, about your habits. It's very important.
I think a lot of adult learners making that first move to come into an adult education centre such as Léinn, we do very low level to a level 4. So we're taking the student where they're at. So it could be very basic education, like, just about able to fill in a form, to another level, that they might have done a junior cert or maybe left in the second year of first year of Léinn cert. So once they've made that big leap back into the education system that failed them, they can do anything after that. And they move, when they see that they can do it, they move on and into college and then jobs. There's no barrier as far as I'm concerned, if they want to do it.
I had been out of school for quite a while, so I wanted to go back into third level. And I saw this as an ideal stepping stone, because it kind of eases me back in. I don't know if I'd have been able, after being out of study patterns for so long, whether I'd been able to handle third level education straight away. So I thought I needed a stepping stone, and Léinn has proven to be perfect, you know.
Here on both the part-time and the full-time programme, so on VTOS on the part-time programme, we work to the what's known now as QQI qualifications. And we work to a level 4. So that would be kind of equivalent to the pass Leave Cert. We also do Leave Cert and Junior Cert subjects. So you would get your Leave Cert Irish, English and Maths and Junior Cert Irish, English and Maths. So they're the qualifications we work towards.
Adult education, I'm just even speaking for myself personally, we need to upskill all the time. You know, the world is moving so fast and society is, I suppose it's nearly overwhelmingly technological now. We can't just sit still, so we do need to be always upskilling, and education is lifelong learning anyway. So I admire everybody who comes in here and wants to upskill, because you do need to do that, no matter where you're at whatever level of education.
The majority of our students actually would progress onto PLC, that's onto level 5 programmes, and then move on to, with quite a number who have progressed on to Limerick, mainly to either UL or to the LIT in Limerick. And also we have a number of students who actually have completed their PhDs over the years. So the majority actually would move on to further education.
I know one guy in particular who couldn't read or write when he came in here. This is about 12 years ago he came through here. And he went on to become the chairperson of the National Literacy Council, you know. So great things can happen. And it's like just taking a step. And even if people aren't sure whether this is what they want, what I find is you take a step in any direction and it takes you somewhere, you know. And you'll find out fairly soon, you know, that you'll feel like, okay, I'm accomplishing something here. I'm moving in a direction and I'm getting somewhere, and that motivates people then to go on. As long as I was sitting at home, and I sat at home for the last almost 5 years, procrastinating, putting it off, and the longer I put it off, the more difficult it became to go back to education, you know. So this was perfect for me because it wasn't hugely demanding, you know, coursework wise and stuff. So I was delighted to get in here, and once I got started, I couldn't get enough of it, you know.
You know, we don't have this system in my country, so it's a great opportunity. It's nice to start something in our age, and you know, if you want to do that, you have to do that, because we have here all support from our teacher, from all the staff, and it's nice to be here. And it's a challenge, but it's not so hard. They are heard about that. It's easy. You have just try. Everything will be okay.
I suppose a lot of these students who come in here probably come in initially for the academic side, but they gain an awful lot more out of that, from the whole social aspect and from the health and well-being as well. And it can be a great, especially from the part-time basis, when you have been unemployed and you come back in and it's a whole new dynamic for yourself as well. And from the whole health and well-being has been enormous positives from that.